Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Today, we bring you a deeply emotional and heartbreaking story, one that marks the end of an era. Jack Nicholson, the brilliant, enigmatic Hollywood legend, is saying goodbye. After decades of captivating the world with his unforgettable performances and unmatchable charisma, Nicholson is stepping away from the spotlight, not by choice, but by the cruel hands of time and illness. What led him to this point? What is happening to the man who once defined Hollywood's golden age? Today we reveal the tragic truth behind his quiet departure, his haunting diagnosis, and the legacy he leaves behind. Jack Nicholson. Just hearing the name brings to mind 1,000 images. Those arched eyebrows, the devilish grin, the fiery eyes that could melt through the screen. He was the rebel, the genius, the charmer, the icon. For over 60 years, he ruled Hollywood, with an iron fist wrapped in velvet, effortlessly transitioning between madmen and misfits, lovers and lunatics. From One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest to The Shining, from Chinatown to The Departed, Nicholson wasn't just acting, he was embodying the very soul of cinema. But now at 86, this larger-than-life figure has all but disappeared. He hasn't starred in a movie in over a decade. He hasn't been seen at a Lakers game in years. The man once so present, so vibrant, is fading. And the reason, tragically, is dementia. Born on April 22, 1937 in Neptune City, New Jersey, Jack's life began with mystery. He grew up believing that his grandparents were his parents and that his mother was his sister. A family secret that wouldn't unravel until Time magazine revealed the truth in 1974. That revelation didn't destroy him. If anything, it seemed to fuel his hunger for truth, for depth, for roles that allowed him to plunge into the rawest corners of the human psyche. Acting wasn't just a profession, it was therapy, exploration, rebellion, revelation. In the late 1950s, Jack moved to Los Angeles, working odd jobs and scraping his way into B-movies. His big break came in 1969 with Easy Rider, and from there his rise was meteoric. He captured the spirit of a generation, angry, disillusioned, yet defiantly alive. 5 easy pieces, The Last Detail, and then the career-defining One Flew Over. The Cuckoo's Nest in 1975, where he played Randall McMurphy. A performance so electric, so human that it earned him his first Oscar. He didn't play characters, he became them. Then came The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece was both praised and feared, and at its heart was Nicholson's Jack Torrance, spiraling into madness, delivering one of the most iconic lines in movie history, "Here's Johnny." It was terrifying, magnetic, unforgettable. That same decade he played the Joker in Tim Burton's Batman, a performance so bold, so twistedly brilliant, that it redefined comic book villains for decades to come. No one could touch Jack's intensity. He wasn't just a star, he was a force of nature. But with fame came pressure, and with pressure came a heavy cost. Jack Nicholson lived hard. The parties, the women, the tabloid scandals, they became part of his mystique. He never married, but fathered 6 children with 5 different women. His affairs were legendary, his charisma impossible to resist. Yet behind the charming smile was a man who wrestled with loneliness, with aging, with the creeping shadows of irrelevance in a town that worships youth. Still, he kept acting and aging with style. He took on roles that reflected his stage in life, like About Schmidt and The Bucket List, where vulnerability replaced swagger and reflection overtook rebellion. He showed us what it meant to age on screen with honesty. But then, the roles stopped coming, or rather, he stopped taking them. By 2010, whispers began to circulate. He was forgetting lines, missing cues. Colleagues noticed his sharp wit sometimes dulled in conversation. Scripts were being turned down. In 2013, rumors exploded that he was retiring due to memory loss. Jack never confirmed it, but he never denied it either. And in 2021, those whispers turned into heartbreaking headlines. Jack Nicholson was reportedly battling dementia. For a man whose mind had been his greatest weapon, sharp, quick, cutting, the diagnosis was cruel. Friends close to him spoke to the media in hushed tones, sharing that Jack was retreating from public life, that he was no longer the man they once knew. His last public appearance, 2020, briefly spotted on his balcony in Beverly Hills. Since then, silence. He now spends his days in solitude, surrounded by a few trusted companions and family members. He watches basketball on TV. He listens to jazz. He looks through old photos. But the sparkle, they say, has dimmed. He no longer attends the Oscars, no longer graces red carpets. The once fiery rebel has been forced into stillness by a disease that steals not only memory, but dignity. And yet, in this painful chapter of his life, Jack Nicholson is still teaching us something about strength, about legacy, about the fleeting beauty of our minds. Even as dementia steals moments from him, it cannot erase what he gave the world. It cannot touch The Shining. It cannot erase Cuckoo's Nest or Chinatown or A Few Good Men. His work remains eternal, untouched by time. Hollywood, for all its glitz, is a ruthless place. It forgets its legends, but not Jack. Never Jack. When the news of his diagnosis broke, tributes poured in. Fans shared memories. Actors like Leonardo DiCaprio and Al Pacino spoke of him with reverence. Directors like Martin Scorsese and Tim Burton credited him for elevating their films. Social media lit up with clips, quotes, and love. Because Jack Nicholson didn't just act, he made people feel. He made them think, laugh, scream, cry. And that kind of magic never fades. Those who have seen him recently say he still smiles, still jokes. Sometimes he recalls lines from old movies. Sometimes he forgets who he's talking to. But even in those fractured moments, there is grace, there is history, there is Jack. His home in Beverly Hills, once the site of wild parties and creative gatherings, is now quiet. His walls are lined with art, Picasso, Warhol, Basquiat. He still finds joy in those images, even when words fail. And occasionally, he watches his own films. There's something tragic and beautiful about that. An actor watching the man he once was, the characters he once brought to life, like ghosts in a reel. But perhaps that is Nicholson's final performance. The quiet, dignified surrender to time, the acceptance of mortality, the understanding that even legends must eventually bow out. Yet unlike so many who disappear into obscurity, Jack's exit is accompanied by a standing ovation. We remember not just the actor, but the man, the rebel who changed cinema, the mentor who inspired generations, the artist who gave his entire soul to every frame of every film. Jack Nicholson is a testament to the heights an actor can reach when they pour their truth into their work. And even as he steps away, that truth remains. So today, as we say goodbye, not with finality, but with reverence, let's remember who Jack Nicholson was and who he still is. He may no longer walk the red carpet. He may no longer deliver monologues. But his legacy is forever etched in the heart of every movie lover. To Jack, thank you for the madness, the genius, the laughter, the darkness, the honesty. You showed us the full spectrum of what it means to be human. You made us believe in the power of film. And even as the curtain falls, your light will never dim. What's your favorite Jack Nicholson moment? Was it his wild grin in The Shining, his tender vulnerability in terms of endearment, or his fierce courtroom fire in A Few Good Men? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your stories, your memories. If this video touched your heart, please give it a like, subscribe to Daily Gossip for more emotional Hollywood stories, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, cherish the legends while they're still with us, and never forget the ones who changed everything. Thank you for watching.